Today, I want to talk about Saint Valentine. So traditionally, the church used to celebrate the feast of Saint Valentine on February 14th. There are actually 3 Roman martyrs with the name Valentine, and one of them, a priest, was beheaded in 270 on February 14th and buried outside the city of Rome. Eventually, his relics were transferred in the 13th century to the Basilica of Santa Prassede, where they remain today. Now, there have been several attempts to try to connect these martyrs to our current celebration of Valentine's Day with roses and candy and gifts of letters and all that good stuff. You know, some people say, well, Saint Valentine married couples in secret. How romantic is that, right? Well, of course he married couples in secret because Christianity was illegal, and so all sacraments were secret. So we actually trace the giving of gifts and flowers and notes to the Middle Ages on this day. And Chaucer wrote about this practice of giving gifts to your loved ones on St. Valentine's Day, but not because it had anything to do with St. Valentine, but because it's when birds paired up in the spring. Now, what can we learn from this? Because that probably bursts your bubble a bit, right? Because we want to think of this day as being connected to the saint. So I think there are 2 things we can take from this. Number 1, in the Middle Ages, you marked time by the saints' feast days, by the liturgical calendar. And this is a beautiful practice. Why did Chaucer say that couples exchange gifts on St. Valentine's Day? But because that's how they marked their time. And so how can we emulate this in our families? How can we look at the passage of time throughout the year, not in worldly ways, but by the ways of eternity and by the ways of our liturgical calendar? That's a beautiful way for us to live. Secondly, I was reading an article about Valentine's Day, and the author said that Saint Valentine was not the patron of love or a lover. Well, this is false. Saint Valentine might not have anything to do with exchanging notes with your loved ones. His martyrdom might not be the reason you buy your wife roses on Valentine's Day. But Saint Valentine was a lover. Why? Because all 3 Valentines died for the faith. They were lovers of Christ and lovers of humanity, because greater love hath no man than to give up his life for his friends. And what can separate us from the love of Christ, as Paul reminds us? And so we have to see that Valentine's Day might not be connected to strictly the martyrdom of these men, but these men are examples to us of true love, of love that's willing to suffer even death for the truth and for the true love of God. And that's a little theology in 3 minutes. Hey friends, exciting news for you. My very first book is available from Ave Maria Press. It's called Opening the Holy Door, and it's scriptural reflections on the virtue of hope. It's the perfect way to celebrate this Jubilee year, as together we are pilgrims of hope. You can find the link in the description below or go to joanwatson.faith to order your copy today.